you again for joining me at Breaking the Silence Together podcast. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Jeannie Perez, and I'm the founder of an organization called You Are Not Alone. And what the organization does for others is it helps individuals struggling with mental illness and addiction. We also have now marriage support, marriage counseling, marriage coaching, life support, life coaching, spiritual support, spiritual coaching, and so many more. If you're not familiar with our organization or our website, please go on, because there's tons of support that we have that I don't have time today to really go down the whole list. But it's www.you'renotalone.online. Please check us out. We're supporting so much with resources, tools, and everything is free. Just see what you can benefit from, or someone else that you know can benefit from. If you're not familiar with my podcast, the only thing that we're going to talk about on my podcast is going to do with either mental illness and addiction, or again with marriage support, life coaching, spiritual coaching or spiritual support, or relationship also support or coaching. Those will be the only topics that you will hear on our podcast. And also, if you are following our podcast and for some reason you miss a day, or you just want to catch up or replay another podcast that you were interested in, or want to forward it to someone else, we are on every major platform, from iHeartRadio, FM radio, Spotify, Google. We're on Amazon. Just Google us and you'll find us. We're on every major platform worldwide. With that being said, today's share is going to be on a topic that a lot of people, not just my clients or the community that I deal with on a daily basis, talks about, but I just think people in general. And the topic is the anxiety of being too behind to even begin. So, a lot of people say, like, where do I begin? Like, where do I start after the spiral of falling behind? And the reason why I quoted it like that, so it'd be easier for a lot of people to really wrap their heads around on what I'm trying to speak about today, or really try to understand if it's something that they're going through, or maybe someone else is going through this. Because a lot of us, when we're dealing with a mental illness or an addiction or some type of trauma or nervous system situation where we're dealing with something every day that's not letting us function to our full, function the way we should be, or the way that we think we should be doing every day, or just dealing with situations where you're trying to come up for air on a daily basis, but you're breathing but you're not living. If you're feeling like that, and this talk today is definitely for you, or you're just listening because you're a caregiver, or you're listening because you want to find out a little bit more of information because you know someone that's dealing with this, and you're hoping that maybe you can bring this up to them and it's going to help them, then this talk is for you. I have not just one, but a couple people that I've dealt with have always, they'll ask me something like, Jeannie, like, where am I supposed to begin now? Like, I've been living for so long with this trauma, and I just feel as though I fell behind on so much. Like, I think I could have been doing more with my education. I'm not where I need to be, or I could have really been doing better in life if I would have just did this instead of that. I feel as though I was stuck, they just feel as though that with their situation, because remember, your nervous system, when it's overwhelmed, it will put you in a freeze mode. So you're stuck. And a lot of us, if we're going to school and all of a sudden we go through this trauma, let's say the trauma is hitting you while you're going to school. All of a sudden you no longer want to go to school, or you're stuck, or you're failing, or you're just not really getting to that point in your education that you really need to because you're stuck. So this is what I'm trying to say when I mean on others asking me, how do they start when they're falling behind so far? How do they catch up? And a lot of it has to do with trying to cope and get to the root of the trauma that you're dealing with. Because once you're stuck with your nervous system, a lot of us need to really come in tune with ourselves and really talk to ourselves on what's going on with us at that moment. Because a lot of us, we just take it day by day and continue to let ourselves just fall deeper and deeper into this stuck freeze mode, because we feel as though, tomorrow I can deal with, or it's just another bad day, or I'll be able to take that test again at school and hopefully get back next semester. Or I'll apply for that job another time. Right now I just don't feel like it. Right now I'm just too tired to really deal with all this. And those are kind of things that you've been through, or you felt those type of ways, then this is definitely something that you really want to listen to. And hopefully you're listening to this podcast, someone that really can really resonate with what I'm saying, and hopefully put together a couple of things that I'm going to talk about and maybe try them in your own, everyday being, and see how this is going to help you get out of the stuckness, that freeze mode, or even feeling that you're behind, but you're really not. Because a lot of us are always weighing, we're always trying to weigh ourselves on our accomplishments. Like, how good did I do? Like, how much did I accomplish today? Or, how good did I do in school? Or how far in life have I gotten yet? And I get it. I know a lot of us, we do, feel as though we get our energy and our happiness from accomplishments on how far we've gotten in life. And I get it. Yes, that is a part of growth. And yes, I applaud you if you are where you want to be in life at this moment. But for those of you that are listening to me right now, and you're not where you want to be in life, because you've been dealing with a trauma for a long time, and the trauma has you stuck, and you really can't get where you want to be, or you feel as though that you're not where you need to be in life, or you feel as though like you're failing someone else because you're not doing what you're supposed to do in life, I want you to know that it's not what you're not doing. And remember, we don't need to weigh our life and our accomplishments of what we're gaining or what we're doing every day. Think about how much of that weight you've been carrying around for years on your own. That's a real survivor. That's someone that really is a survivor. And you should not feel ashamed of yourself, because you've been carrying for years a weight in silence. Not everyone can do that and still be here to talk about it. So instead of weighing yourself every day on how much of you have accomplished, or comparing yourself to someone else on how far they've come in life or how far they've come in their education, but you feel as though you're not nowhere near that yet, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Because remember, no one else is living what you're living. No one else is carrying around that weight that you're carrying from your trauma around. That's you. So don't compare yourself to another person, another family member, or a friend, or a neighbor, whoever it is. Where you feel as though you're failing. You're not. You're not. Right now you're healing. Right now you're feeling. Right now you're trying to really come in tune with your emotions. And for some of us it takes a little longer than others to really be able to grab and really figure out and recognize our emotions and what we need to do with them. And how can we cope with them so that we can heal and really accomplish things that we want to do in life in a healthy way. Because it's not easy walking around with some type of trauma or pain. Some people can't get out of bed. The pain and the trauma is so heavy on them for so many years. Or some people are just trying their best every day, but that trauma just keeps beating them down. And you're not broken. If this is something that you're going through on a daily basis, you are not broken. Those dishes that you're not washing, and you're leaving them to the end of the day because you're so tired, or you're just not doing what you need to do with yourself physically on a daily basis, I want you to say it's okay. It's okay. Because we're not perfect, and we don't need to be perfect not for ourselves or no one else. It's okay if you feel as though you want to go back to school another time, another time, not right now, maybe fall, summer, whatever it is. You don't have to do what anyone else is doing. Live life at your own terms. If you don't want to wash those dishes tonight, don't wash them. It doesn't mean that you're falling behind. doesn't mean that you're not better than the other person next to you, or you're not doing what you need to do as a person on a daily basis. Because we're not perfect, and we all have emotions that we're dealing with. And we deal with them all in a different way. Because everyone's trauma and everything that everyone's dealing with on a daily basis is never going to be the same. So if that's the way that you're coping for right now, with what you're dealing with and the weight that you're carrying around on a daily basis, it's okay. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, if no one else is telling you, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And if anyone knows me, they know that that's my statement, and I always say that, and I really mean it. It's okay to not be okay. And no, you're not falling behind because you have spiraled with a mental illness or you have spiraled with an addiction. Right now, what's going on with you is you need help. You know, right now you're dealing with something emotionally and physically that you no longer can deal with it by yourself. You no longer can carry this for another day or another month or another year alone. You know, it's time for you. You know, if you're listening to me and you're just so tired of feeling overwhelmed, you're so tired of not having that energy to do what you want to do, you're just tired of being stuck, it's time for you to say, okay, it's time for you to talk to yourself. It's time to pause. Talk to yourself and find the root of what's going on in your life right now today. And say to yourself, what do I need to do to get out of this stuff? What do I need to do? What is healing to me? And I want you to do that. Because if you're ready to get healed from a mental illness and you're ready to wrap yourself around changes and accept life at a new light, a new way, then you're ready. If you're fighting or struggling an addiction and you're tired of chasing this addiction and you just want to just get better, you want to recover in a healthy way, do it. You're ready. Because right now is the time for you to just make the change. You know, open up. Accept the help. Accept the support. Because if you don't do the first step, and that is looking for the help that you need, whether it's talking to someone in the community or talking to a loved one that can help you get the help, or getting online and doing your research and finding out what type of help you want, no one's going to bring it to you. No one's going to bring it to you. Because no one can get healed for you. You have to do that yourself. No one can recover for you from an addiction. You need to do that yourself. No, if it's a relationship, a marriage or a relationship, no one can work that relationship out for you. No one can work out that marriage for you except you two, the ones that are in this relationship. No one's going to bring the help to you. If it's a spiritual thing, you know, you're trying to find your way because you lost your way, no one's going to put you back on the right route unless you make that first step to reach for the help that you need. There's help out there, but you have to really, really put in the work yourself and really want to do this in order to heal in a healthy way, recover in a healthy way, build a relationship or a marriage in a healthy way, or really do what you would, your purpose in a healthy way, spiritual way. You know, you have to really make that first step. You know, you have to really want it. And if you do, like I said, there's help out there, there's support out there, whether it's in your community, whether it's online, whether it is reaching out to my organization so that we can help you or find someone that can. Because like I said, if you ever reach out to us, and if we don't have what you need, we're going to find someone that does have it for you. We're not just going to leave you and say, no, we can't help you. No. We're going to get you the help that you need and make sure that you get the help that you need. Because, you know, I know it's hard for people to really wrap their head around something and say, I need to make a change. I really need to get this help. You know, I really need to do this for myself. It's hard, and I get it. It's hard for anyone to really change or really admit the truth sometimes. The truth to us as human beings, sometimes it hurts. And it's just natural for anyone to feel that way. It's natural because we're human beings. You know, and like I said, we're not perfect. But sometimes when we find out the truth and we know the truth is that either we're dealing with a mental illness or we're dealing with an addiction, or, we're noticing that our relationship or our marriage is falling apart, or I done lost my path, on what I'm supposed to be doing in life, sometimes that really bothers us to know that that's going on with us. But it's like I always say, the best conversation that you're going to have, and the truest and the realest conversation that you're ever going to have, is with yourself. Because only you know what it is that you need in life to get where you need to get to. Whether it's with a mental illness, an addiction, relationship, marriage, or spiritual, only you know the root cause of why you're stuck where you're at this moment. And you really need to just pause, talk to yourself, take out time and really figure it out. And once you know the root of it, and you really feel as though that you're ready to just be honest with yourself, get the help that you need. Get the help that you need, because everyone deserves to live a healthy, happy life. No one wakes up wanting to be an addict, addicted to anything. No one wakes up wanting to have some type of mental illness to deal with on a daily basis. No one wants to struggle with those type of things. No one wants to be in a relationship that is falling apart. No one wakes up like that. No one wakes up wanting to know that their marriage is about to be over. No one wants that. No one wants to be unhappy. No one wants to live life just breathing and not living. There's no way. So if you're listening to me and you're dealing with these situations, you can make the change. You can reset your whole life. From your brain, your nervous system, your mind, body, and soul. You can reset it. Everyone can change. There is never no one that can say, no, I can't do this. No, it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be able to change my life ever. This is who I am and I'm stuck with it. No. Life is what you make it to be. And I know it might be hard for someone to really understand that's dealing with a mental illness. But what I mean by that, if you're listening to me, you're dealing with a mental illness, what I mean by that is there's help out there. You have to show up for yourself. Put the work in yourself. And you're going to be able to heal in a healthy way from your mental illness. If you're dealing with an addiction, what I mean by that is you have to show up for yourself. You have to want to do this. Not change or get off of your addiction or anything for someone else. You have to want to do this for yourself. And if you're doing this for yourself, get the help that you need. And you're going to be able to recover in a healthy way. Because life is what we make it to be. No one can live life for us. And we can't live life for no one else. But we can live life for ourselves. And we can make change for ourselves. Because everything that you put into your brain, your body will react to it. So if you put those changes into your brain, once you start healing and you go to maybe counseling for a mental illness, all those good vibes, you get on a journey, you start putting in everything good, following everything good, you're going to recover. You're going to heal. Because every movement that we do through our body with our fingers, our eyes, our arms, is function through our brain and our nervous system. I know for a lot of people that have been living life through others, others telling them what to do, telling them how to do it, when to do it, always wanting to get approval from others. This might be feeling to you like it's impossible, but it's not. Because you've been giving these other people that you've been letting them live life for you or through you all the power, all the strength. Because at the end of the day, life, the way we want to live it, we can do that at our own terms. Because no one can wake up for you, no one can go to sleep for you. No one can move their fingers or their hands for you. You do that. That's your strength, that's your energy, that's your brain and your nervous system. Functioning as what you're telling them what to do. So every day you live life because you're going to live. because you want to do it. So start living life at your terms and how you want to do it. Get the help that you need, so you don't no longer have to live through someone else or someone else live through you, or your mental illness or your addiction run life for you. Show up for yourself. Do what you need to do so that you can be healthy. As long as you're healthy and you're happy, you're going to be able to do whatever you want in life. Every day you do in life what you want to do. Do it in a healthy way. Get the help that you need. You don't need to struggle alone. You don't need to do any of this alone. Reach out to us if you have to. We'll get you the help that you need. www.you'renotalone.online. Again, like I said, if we don't have what you need, I'm going to find you what you need. You don't need to be out there alone struggling with a mental illness and addiction. You don't need to let your relationship or your marriage fall apart in front of you. There's help out there. There's no shame. You don't have to be embarrassed of anything that you're going through in life. You don't have to be ashamed of anything that you're going through in life. We're all human beings. We've all been there. You know, if anyone tells you that they've never had a situation in their life, I guess they're lying to themselves, because we all know that life is full of triggers. You know, we live and we learn. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. Unfortunately, there's some of us that are carrying heavier things than others, and we need a little bit of more help and support than others. And those are the ones that just need to reach out and get that help and support, because it's out there. You know, go on my site, download. I have all types of digital books, all types of resources. And my tools and resources and my services are accessible worldwide. I don't care where you're at in the map. You need help, you need something, go on my website, you're going to get it. And you're going to get whatever you need, no matter where in the world you're at. Because our services are available worldwide. You know, we just have to really, really start showing up for ourselves. We really need to just start living life for ourselves. You know, don't worry about how someone around you, whether it's a loved one, a partner, or just someone in your circle, you know, that they want you to do this or do that, or show up in this type of way, or only, you know, act like this is going on instead of that. No. Show up in life the way you want to show up. Because that's really the way you need to be. That's the way that's going to make you happy, and it's going to allow you to be the person that you want to be, not what someone else wants you to be. With that, excuse me, with that being said, you know, anyone that really is following me, or you're listening to my podcast, whether it's now live or later on or 2 years later from now on one of the platforms, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate all the support that we've been getting worldwide, because I just can't say that the support is coming community only, because it really is coming worldwide. And I want to say thank you to everyone that really has been showing up for my organization, has really been showing up and supporting the cause of mental health and addiction, which is the number one reason for my organization is mental health and addiction. Yes, we are serving many more situations, relationship, marriage, spiritual, but the main cause of my organization is to really help individuals that are struggling with mental illness and addiction. And if you've been supporting me, I want to say thank you, because your support really means a lot to me. Really means a lot to me. I don't care how little you think it is, it means a lot to me. And I just want to say, for my own self, thank you. You know, every day I really, really kind of go into the situations that I talk about every day on this podcast, or just really do research on things that I'm dealing with, my own clients or my community, or even things that other leaders from other organizations are going through. I try to help everyone. So I'm always doing all kinds of research, educating myself more, you know, because knowledge is power. You can't never have enough education. So I'm always doing some kind of training, or going back and getting some kind of credits in college. That's just who I am, because I just follow through the knowledge is power. And just doing my research, you know, it's just mind-boggling where you see that no matter how many organizations are out there, how many people are out there trying to help with mental illness or an addiction, the numbers continue to rise. You know, they just continue to rise by the second. We're losing beautiful souls, and it doesn't even matter the age, to mental illness, addiction. Doesn't matter the age. We're losing beautiful souls to an addiction by the second. You know, and it's really, really sad because a lot of them, you know, we lose them because they think there's nothing in life for them to live for. That's really how they get towards the end, when these things just start running through their mind. You know, they really think there's no one out there that really loves them or really cares about them, or they feel as though like they're worthless, they're no good. You know, life is, you know, the world is better off without them. And if you're listening to me, and if this has ever crossed your mind, or you know someone that's dealing with this, or you feel as though you felt like this sometime in life, I want you to know that you are worthy. It's yourself, you know, and the world does need you in it, you know, and there is people out there that love you and need you more than you ever will ever know. You are being loved by the second. You are needed within your family, your loved ones, friends. You know, I know a lot of us, when we go into these mental illnesses or these addictions, we burn bridges and we start coming apart and we start fading away from our loved ones, our friends, and our circle. But I want you to know, even though if maybe you burnt bridges with your family or your loved ones, or you fading away from them because you're not around them a lot of time, or you barely see them anymore, you feel as though that they don't love you anymore, they don't care about you anymore. It's not true. It's not true. Because, you know, regardless of how many bridges you burned or how distant you are right now from family and friends, they're going to always love you. And they're going to always need you to be a part of their life. Regardless if you haven't seen them in months or years. They know you're there, and they need to know that. So don't ever feel as though that no one cares or doesn't need you, or you're worthless, or this world could be better without you, because it can't. You are needed. You are being heard. You are being seen. You are being loved just the way that you are. You don't need to be perfect. No one is perfect. But yes, the loved ones that love you, your support, your friends, they all want you to get better. So just find a way to feel as though you're ready and get the help that you need, so that you can go ahead and be back with your loved ones, with your friends, and just be happy with yourself. Because we need to love ourselves first. We need to be happy with ourselves first before we can do that with others. You know, it's really important that we love ourselves. We show up for ourselves, and we're happy for who we are before we worry about anyone else. You know, and like I said, you know, I'm always looking for new people. I'm always looking for volunteers, people to really just make this movement stronger with me. Just put it broader and bigger out there on the map. You know, let's hit the map. Just blank it all out with our help. Because it doesn't matter where you're at in the map, you're able to help us. Because my tools and my resources and my services are available worldwide. You don't even have to leave your house to help us. You'll just need a computer or a phone, log on, and you'll be able to help one of our clients. Or you'll just be able to just really tune in with us and get this information out. It's more than what we can now. You know, we're doing it now worldwide. But we can never have enough when it comes to mental illness or an addiction. So if you're a licensed therapist, or you're a licensed counselor, a licensed social worker, or you just want to be an advocate and help, reach out to us. Get on my website, www.you'renotalone.online. Reach out to us. We have our 800 number, toll-free number. You can reach someone 24/7. Our chat box is monitored by a human being 24/7. Our email, is monitored by a human being 24/7. If you want to reach out to me, you want to get a hold of me, believe me, you can get a hold of me through my website. Or just Google me. Jeannie Perez, the founder of You're Not Alone. And that's You're Not Alone, Lone. And you're going to find a way to get a hold of me. I'm all over the place. There's no way that you're not going to be able to find me if you really want to. So please, just Google me. If you have any doubts on coming on with us, you want to find out more about my organization, or you just want to find out more about me, go ahead. But like I said, I'm a multi-business owner. So you're not just going to find out business information about the organization that we're talking about today, which is You're Not Alone. You're going to find information about all of my business. Me as a person, I believe on Google. Google has everything. You know, so if you're in depth coming aboard with us, you want to find out more, Google me, find out the information, and then when you're ready, come on board and let's help the next beautiful soul that is dealing with an addiction. Let's help the next beautiful soul together that's dealing with mental illness. And let's just try to get this information out as much as we can. You know, because it's really needed worldwide. It really is. And if you think in your community can benefit from what we provide, our services or our tools and our resources, and you think that maybe throwing an event in your community is going to really benefit the community, let us know. You know, we can get someone out there, or if not, I can just send you all the information that you need to throw the event in behalf of our organization in your community. And again, if you have the time and the resources and you want to start something like this in your community, an organization like mine, and you want to collaborate with my organization, reach out to me because I can help you get that started. You know, it's not about me. You know, and I'm not the type of business owner that only cares about what I can do with my business, because it's not about me. This business that we're talking about right now, this organization, is definitely not about me. This organization is about dealing with the beautiful souls out there that need our help. You know, with a mental illness or addiction, or a family that's falling apart, a relationship that's falling apart, a marriage that's falling apart, or someone that just needs really coaching, life coaching, a career coach. It's about them. It's about who we can help. You know, we have the knowledge, we have the license, we have the power to help someone else. Why not? Why not? Why not share the knowledge that you have, or the license or the profession that you have, to be able to help someone get better, or get someone where they need to get to in life? Why not? You will want someone to do that for your loved one. You will want someone to be there if your loved one was in the streets dealing with a mental illness or an addiction. Or if there was someone out there that can help your loved one get on track with their relationship or their marriage or just their career. You will want that for them. Why not want that for someone else's loved one or someone else's child? You know, that people say the world is so messed up, but really they need to really think about it. Who's really doing the things in the world? Why is the world the way that it is? You know, because a lot of people just think about them. It's about them. It's about them. It's about what I can do, what I can give. You know, let's come together and see what we can do for others and make things better. You know, the lesser people we have out there dying from addictions, dealing every day with a mental illness, marriages falling apart, kids stuck with their careers, you know, not knowing what to do in life, losing themselves spiritually. If we can help them, do you not think the world will be in a better place? It definitely will. It definitely will. So let's start out with them. The beautiful souls that need our help. And like I said, if you have the knowledge, you have the license, you have the time, and you want to volunteer, let's do this. Let's do what we need to do to help these individuals and make a better world for them. If it's a better world for them, it's going to be a better world for all. With that being said, again, you know, if you go on my website and there's anything that you ever need and you do not see it on there, you know someone else that has something that they got from our website, or you heard it at one of my events but you can't find it, please reach out to us and I will get it out to you, because we change stuff on our website constantly. We take down stuff that's been there for a while. We'll put new stuff out depending on where we're at. On different situations, we might put new stuff up just for that time because maybe that's what people are asking us for. But no longer there's stuff there that you might be looking for. Please reach out to us and we'll get that out to you with no problem. And again, you don't have to tell us your name or anything like that, but you do need to leave us a message. Let us know what you're looking for. Let us know what type of help you're looking for to make sure that we get the right person on to follow up with you, whether it's a call, an email, whatever it is. I want to make sure that I don't guess on what you need, and I want to make sure that I get you right on point with the right person to start you on the right path with your journey. I don't like guessing. I don't like for my team neither to be guessing on what needs to be done for someone to just called and left one or two things on a message, but they didn't really tell us what they needed. Or is calling from a number that really can't be called back on. Please let us know how we can get a hold of you so that we can get you the help that you need. Just let us know. You don't have to leave a name, but please let us know a little bit on how we can help you and how we can get a hold of you. If you're calling from a number that's not a workable number, you might be calling from an @ number, we can't call you back. Please let us know how we can get a hold of you so we can get you the information or get you the services that you need. With that being said, I just want to close today's talk with, my saying, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. It's okay to not be okay, and I really mean that. If you're having a bad day or you just feel as though that, you're embarrassed because you're not the way you should be, or you're dealing with an addiction, you're dealing with some kind of mental illness, it's okay. Because none of us is perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. It's okay to not be okay. So don't be ashamed of it. Don't be isolated. Don't be hiding yourself away from because of that. It's okay to not be okay. But what's not okay is for you or anyone to ever think that they need to walk in silence, in the dark, in any type of struggle, alone. That's not acceptable. You don't need to hide for anyone. You don't need to isolate yourself for no one. You don't need to carry around this trauma, this pain, alone. Get the help that you need. Talk to someone so that you can get healthy. Until next time, please take care of yourself and your loved ones.